It's the funnest book.
Yeah, but it's not a contest, Ryan. So you gotta scoot in around here if you're gonna get in frame. We have to figure this out. That's tight. We'll work on this. Gotta change this up.
This is so comfortable.
Yeah, it's alright. It's fine. Alright, so welcome to the first ever episode of Two Principals and Some Guy Book Reviews. You like the title?
I love it.
That's good with that. So,
You're not some guy. You are the director of curriculum and technology.
Yeah, I know, but if that doesn't roll off the tongue as well, then
It's kind of a big deal.
it's kind of funny. No, it's not. All right, so the deal was that we would each pick a book to share today to recommend with three recommendations, reasons why you would read this book. Mr. Harity thinks this is a competition. It is not.
It was.
It isn't. So why don't we have Mr. Brownell? Why don't you start? Tell us about your book and why you chose it. What are the three reasons people should read this book?
Sure. Well, this is Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. It is a classic children's chapter book about life on a farm. I think a lot of people in Vermont could connect with this. I always read this to my elementary class when I was a teacher, so I thoroughly enjoyed this. It's a story about friendship and belief in something, I guess, something amazing that can happen. Wonderful book. Also has some lovable characters we can all relate to. So the kids relate to it, and adults you can as well.
Solid.
Great book.
You know,
Can be a classic.
low risk recommendation if this were a competition.
A little sad at times.
Low sad at times. Yeah, it is kind of sad. Okay, great, excellent. Mr. Harity, why don't you go ahead?
We're not going in order here.
No.
Okay. Well, the book that I picked is by an author, Drew Daywalt, and you might recognize him from The Day the Crayons Quit, one of my all-time favorite classic picture books as well. And so I read this one a couple months ago, and I actually read it with my kids, and they're kind of my beta group, my testing group, to see if they love it before I bring it to kids at school. And absolutely, it's a book you could read every night to your kids and your family. It's hilarious. It's about paper and rock and scissors and their competition and how you got to read it. It's really a great book, and I suggest it.
Okay, that's all right. So, my recommendation is the Wild Robot. This is by Peter Brown. He did the drawings as well, and I have three reasons that I think people should check this out. This is a great book to read aloud to your kids too, chapter a night kind of thing. It's about robots. I mean, how can you be upset about a book that's about robots, right? The pictures are really interesting. I like that they're kind of pen and ink, but they also spill across the pages and into the words, so it's just kind of nice read. And there's a fair amount of adventure in this. So this is about a robot that lands on an island and suddenly becomes a parent of a lost goose. And that's kind of all I'm going to say, but right there, I mean,
I'm sold.
you know, it's not about rock, paper, scissors, but I mean, it's good. It's good. So I highly recommend this book, and there's a second book in the series. I love series books. So those are our recommendations for the week. Hold them up, gents. Let's hold them up. So definitely check out any of these, and we'll be back next week so that you can leave us some comments and some ideas on how we can improve this wonderful show. Okay.
Thanks, everyone.